This is the January 2025
Mm-hmm.
Solicits. Interestingly, we know a lot of the new Vertigo stuff starting in February, so I feel like the February one's going to be a lot more dense with a lot more new books. There's a couple of like one shots for the event and things like that in this one, but it's mostly by the numbers, I think, from the glance that I had at it. But we'll go through the books, see what's there, and give any thoughts on covers or whatnot. So so this is the solicits for January. First up is DC KO issue 3. As expected, big event, makes sense. Lots of covers. Some of them looking kind of good. There is what looks like, I'm just going to click on it to see it properly, but there is a Street Fighter looking cover with Superman and Guy Gardner with a big V's between them and like a character select screen at the bottom. That's a nice little touch. Yeah.
It's a Dan Mora cover.
Yeah, Dan Mora, yeah. That's kind of cool.
And we have another Daniel Warren Johnston wrestling maneuver. Kind of, I think this one's, is this Harley and Lobo? Yes. So.
Wait, isn't that Will Ospreay and Firestorm?
No, yeah, yes. That's the Dan Mora cover, but the Daniel Warren Johnson is Harley with a fork. Moxley style.
I see. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
That's because you said wrestling, and my eye just caught because I can see the wrestling ring in that one, even the thumbnail size, and I'm like, that's Will Ospreay. What are you talking about?
Yes. Yeah, that's Ospreay looking like he's gonna give a burning hammer to Firestorm, which.
Well, it's funny. That's he's already burning, so that's kind of funny.
Yes,
admittedly,
exactly.
Anyone who knows nothing about wrestling does not get the humor of that, but it's funny to us, so that's fine. And then next up, we got DC KO Night Fight issue 3. So this is the sort of the secondary book that's launching in November to go alongside. This is also Williamson and somehow also Dan Mora, even though Dan Mora's drawing because he did Unlimited this week and he's doing so many goddamn books. Mora, there's always Mora where Mora came from. No, okay,
that's the secret to his name, right?
And we have what I think is a one shot here, which is the DC KO The Kids Are All Fight special issue 1. This is Jeremy Adams writing this with Trevor Mercer on the art. And it seems to be John Kent, Cassandra Cain, babysitting a bunch of the sort of teen and younger heroes that are left around on Earth. Although, I do take umbrage with the description, because it just mentions John Kent babysitting a bunch of heroes, and I'm like, there is no way Cassandra Cain is one of the ones being babysit. How dare you, solicit text.
She's the, you leave a kid in charge, but there's also an older person somewhere close. That's what Cass is, right? Cass is the actual person that's supervising. So
yeah, I'm not saying John Kent's immature, because he isn't, but I feel like Cass is the one that has seniority in this regime that we're seeing on the cover. That said, though, I don't know if she's on all the covers, so maybe she's just got a cameo or something, and that's why she's not mentioned on the text.
But it looks like Jay Garrick's daughter, I already forgot her name,
Judy
is on there. Judy, yeah. Judy, and then looks like the Mr. Terrific kid and Shoes there as well. So pretty eclectic. These are not who I would associate as the kids, right? These are all somewhat new, with the exception of Cass and Shoes. Leon's been around for a while.
Yeah, I like the development of having Shoes pop up more and more between Cheetah and Cheshire. Then this again, it feels like there's a solid team of people keeping everything tied together right now at DC, which feels good. Next up is Superman 34, continuing on this tie-in arc for DC KO. So, yep, as you'd expect. Eddie Barrow's on the art. He was on this week's issue of Superman as well. So we'll talk more about that later. Justice League Unlimited 15, continuing the tie-in arc to KO. Dan Mora somehow on this with Mark Waid. So, fair enough. And do you know what? I was feeling this today because we had 3 different books were all tying into KO. And I was like, this does feel like an old school event, season, where there's a bunch of books tying into it.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're doing it in their own way, too. It's not like they're supplementing what's going on in KO in that way where this is what's going on for this character in KO. It's these are stories based around that.
Yeah, well, there's that, but I think one of the things that sometimes gets a little bit repetitive and tedious when they do these events and they do a bunch of tie-ins, whether they're one-shots or just the regular books, is they do some sort of format. Well, take Nightmares, for example. where it's like everyone's getting 2 issues of Nightmares. The problem is though is that they all have basically the same concept, so they're very repetitive to read. I don't feel like any of the things I read today for KO tie-ins, it felt like they were doing the same thing. It all felt like they were doing different pockets, different corners.
It felt like the stories were spitting out of KO, but they're their own story, right? Like I feel like whatever happens in KO isn't going to really impact Justice League Unlimited. Exactly.
Yes.
Right? It's just
I mean, I think whatever they do in Unlimited might have a nice positive effect on what could happen in KO, but like it feels like the universe feels like it's in a good place is all I'm trying to say. Anyway, Flash issue 29 still again tying into KO, so that's cool. Titans 31 is also still tying into KO. And then we have DC KO Green Lantern Galactic Slam issue 1, which is a cool title, and this is a Kyle Rayner centered oversized one shot by the looks of it, tying into KO, so that's cool.
And is that Omega Bandman as well?
It looks like that wrestler did. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. From Flash, he showed up in Adam's Flash and is a amalgamation of 80s wrestlers.
So the other thing that's kind of nice about all these KO tie-ins is that it's giving like weird spotlights to a bunch of characters who are not in the tournament. So this is going to be Kyle Rayner focused because he's not involved in the tournament. So it's giving other people a chance to shine in weird ways, which is cool. Then that's all the KO stuff, it seems like. So that wraps up that, but it's still that's plenty for a month of event-related stuff. Then we're on to the Absolute books. We got Absolute Batman 16. This is part 2 of the crossover with Wonder Woman. And I say crossover, what I really mean is 2-part or guest starring Absolute Wonder Woman. I don't think it's actually affecting Absolute Wonder Woman's book per se. But yeah, it doesn't look like Batman's been very kind to her based on the cover, but we'll see how that goes.
He's saying go to hell, but that's where she's from, so it's basically like him telling her to go home.
Oh, do you know what? I don't think I noticed the question mark. So I think it's actually less. I thought he was saying go to hell, like piss off. What he's actually saying is it's almost as if she's suggesting we should go to hell to fix whatever the problem is, and he's like, go to hell. Okay, yeah. I think I'm reading that differently now that I'm looking at it properly. I ignored the question mark before.
It's very funny.
It's good. It's good. I'm looking forward to that. And then we get Absolute Wonder Woman 16. Start of a new story arc. Hayden Sherman back on the arc. He may be back on it before that issue, but he's definitely not on this one and the next one. So that is cool. And obviously there was a reveal of Zatanna in Absolute Wonder Woman recently, and that seems to be coming up with this issue, so that's cool. Absolute Superman issue 15. Faraya on the art. It's always nice to see. I'm happy to see that. Absolute Flash issue 11. Continuing on, Absolute Green Lantern issue 10. Also continuing on. And then we have Absolute Martian Manhunter issue 8, which notably does not have solicit text, which might just be a formatting error, or maybe they're being super secretive and they're like, we cannot tell anyone what's happening in this book.
Yeah, that's a really cool cover though, because it has all the lines making angles as they intersect with the different colors.
Well, they kind of make an X.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it's got to make it. It's like this is Jean Xavier. This is Professor Manhunter, whatever you want to call him. And we got Batman issue 5. So that's obviously been a book we've been enjoying the first couple issues of. That's coming. Nightwing 134. Getting deep into the arc that we're on. Yeah. Sadly, V. Ken Marion's on the art on this one, so it looks like Dexter Soy's having to take a little bit of time off of it, which is a shame. But hey, can't always have the artist unless you're Dan Mora, who can do 15 books a month. Like you can't do it. Then we got Batgirl issue 15. Steven Segovia is on the art on this issue, so that's also getting a guest artist in for at least an issue or two. So that's cool. And then we have Batman and Robin 29. Scarface stuff still ongoing from the Quiet Man arc, so that's nice. We then have Detective Comics 1105. And that is a chunky suit Batman's wearing on that cover.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he's
what's going on here?
It's like metal, and he's got like a sort of like breather kind of part of his mask. It's it looks like he's in like sort of like, obviously there's a lot of talk of disease and quarantine so far in this arc. This looks like he's got into like like the epicenter of where all the viruses are coming from or something. That's what that looks like.
It's almost like he's wearing a containment suit.
Yeah.
Right? Like a containment bat suit.
Oh man, the variant's even nicer. Look at the variant of that.
Yeah.
You can see the pipes coming out the back of his cowl. That's actually really cool. I'm into it. It's got like a... I don't know. It's like Batman Big Daddy. If you've ever played BioShock, anyone, that's kind of like Batman's take on that. Then we get Catwoman 83, which we're not reading, but that's a cool Court of Owls cover.
I really like it.
Yeah, it's nice. Can't say no. Maybe, sometimes I'm like struggling to put things on the vote. Maybe one of the things that I'll put on, not the next one because I've already put the vote up, but maybe one of the things I'll put on is the first issue of this Catwoman run when Greenbeck took over, because we never tried that. That may be worth throwing the vote at some point.
That might, because I was contemplating, like, do I have time to try to, see what's going on? But yeah, if it goes up for a vote, then definitely. Yeah,
it gives us a good excuse to try it out. Because the covers have been cool, if nothing else. Then we have Harley Quinn 58, which, I'll be honest, is Elliot Kalan a new writer on this? Has he been there for 6 months already? I have no idea. So, it exists.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Then we have Poison Ivy 40, G. Willow Wilson, with David Gianfelice. I'm going to say that's pronounced.
Yeah.
Do you know, Wilson's had a hell of a run on this book. Because she's been there since issue 1, right?
Yeah. For a book that felt like it was only supposed to go like a year, we're up to issue 40 being solicited. So I
mean, outside of some of the obvious big ones that are just going for like tons of numbers, this is one of the longest running books. Like, this is like just a little bit behind World's Finest, and then the only things that are longer than that are your Batman. I mean, and even Batman and Superman renumbered, so they're not even that far. But Nightwings is like over 100, and that's a bit. And obviously Detective in Action. So I mean, good on Wilson for keeping Ivy going this long. They have Harley and Ivy Life and Crimes issue 3, and we may have to read issue 1 of that, Matt, because it's on the vote for next month. Yeah. So
gotcha.
We'll see if we get pulled into that.
I'm never gonna have to complain about reading Ivy.
Yeah, this doesn't look like my sort of book. Like, I can just kind of tell it's written for a certain type of audience, and that's fine. Yeah. But the audience might make us read it anyway, and we'll give it a try if so. Superman Unlimited issue 9. Not much to say.
Very
really.
Classic looking cover here.
It's got heavy inks. There's heavy lines on this cover. Yeah. Yeah. So that's cool. And then we got Supergirl issue 9. With Joe Quinones on the art for this, and the next issue after this I saw him tweeting about. And then we got Action Comics 1094, and that's a interesting cover, but sort of like Jonathan Kent's in like a SWAT team outfit or something. He's got a little super badge on it, but it's like a SWAT vest. So that's interesting. We got Batman, Superman, World's Finest 47, which is Mark Waid and Adrian Gutierrez. So we'll see. Oh god, I'll be honest. That cover fills me with dread. I do not like what I think this issue is going to focus on. We've got this weird Batman Superman combination that was introduced earlier in the run, and then we've got a Lex Luthor Joker hybrid.
Yep. And you see, Pete, he has a mohawk because Lex doesn't have hair, but Joker does. So,
well, technically, we're only seeing him from the side. That could be like, it could be more of a Two-Face thing where half the head's got hair. It's hard to tell.
True.
It's probably a mohawk, but I'm just saying there's a possibility. Yeah. It's a shame because I really enjoyed that last issue, but this cover, this merger arc does not fill me with much hope. This is the finale? No, it's not. I just assumed that it was. Okay, well, I'm not looking forward to this merger business, but we'll see. Wonder Woman 29, which interestingly has Stephanie Williams writing with artist Jeffrey Spokes. So I don't know if they've said if this is just a fill-in issue and King's back soon after. I mean, I've not heard that issue 28 is the end of his run, but worth mentioning. Next up, we have Wonder Woman Black and Gold 2026 Special Issue 1. Black, white, and gold is the color scheme, just like the Superman Red and Blue and so on. We got Adventures of Superman, the Book of L, Issue 5, the next Philip Kennedy Johnson issue. And then we got GSA issue 15, and it's still doing GSA year 1, which I'm a little curious about this year 1 art coming up. I'm a little bit hopeful. We'll see. We got Green Lantern 31 with Osvaldo Pestana Montpeller on the art. I have never heard of this artist, but that is a cool name.
Me neither.
And then we got Green Lantern Corps issue 12, as expected. Aquaman issue 13, and there's 2 Miras fighting on the cover.
So I'm looking at to try to figure out reading the thing, but yeah, that's what it looks like, right?
If not, then it's certainly another woman of Aquaman's type. I'll say that.
Yes. Red hair, wearing it looks more akin to Aquaman's Aquaman suit with the gold or the orange scales. But yeah, definitely a lot of red hair floating around there.
Yeah. Justice League Red issue 6 is next, so that's cool. Doesn't sound like it's saying. I mean, it doesn't say final issue anymore anyway. But there's nothing in the text that says, "Oh, the conclusion" or the stunning finale or anything like that. So it might not be the last one. Because part of me thought this might just be a 6-issue series.
Yeah.
And then we got Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League issue 6. This is the final issue, pretty assuredly. So, yep, looks good. We've been enjoying that a lot. And then you got Justice League Godzilla Kong issue 7, wrapping that one up as well. So there's a few minis ending in January for making room. Next up, the Valentine's special for the year, which they're putting out at the end of January, is DC's Supergirl Next Door. Now, it's not their best pun ever, but I get it. It's there. Like a lot of these anthology specials that are $10, it's 100 pages, or 80 pages, sorry, and it has, like maybe 8 stories by different writers. None of whom are like writers who have like regular ongoing books. It feels like this is always like the trial grounds for a bunch of like newcomers to come and try stuff. So, yep, that's the thing that's happening. And then we have Batman Green Arrow The Question Arcadia issue 2 by Gabriel Hardman. Very much looking forward to that when it starts out soon. Immortal Legend Batman issue 6 is there, as is The Batman Second Night issue 3, wrapping up that trilogy of a Black Label book. Court Children of the Round Table is there. Gotham Academy First Year issue 4, and Teen Titans Go issue 11 rounds out the kids section, if you will. Mad Magazine 48, and then after that we've got some facsimiles, reprints, that kind of thing. Before we get to the collected editions. Oh, that's bold. They're soliciting Hattush. And they're not even calling it Volume 1. They're not even saying, like, oh, there's a second part coming. They're just saying this is all of Hattush.
Yeah, it says collects Batman 158 to 163 and the Hattush Prelude from Justice League Unlimited 1. So, yeah.
Yeah, and for the record, they have written it in the title as H2SH. Like they're keeping that consistently going. For some reason, I don't know. But yeah. There's a trade paperback of that as well. You got Trinity Daughter of Wonder Woman trade paperback. You've got Kanga Yu Lost in the Labyrinth trade paperback, which is obviously one of the young adult books. We have Absolute Power trade paperback. We have Gotham City Sirens Unfit for Orbit. That was that 1 month kind of 5-week thing that Leah Williams did a few months ago. Yep. We got Batman Superman World's Finest Volume 8, 20,000 Leagues, which seems to include the Bizarro story and maybe some other stuff. But
it says World's Finest 35 to 37 and then 40 to 43.
So I think 35 to 37 was the Bizarro story. So whatever 40 to 43 is going to be. And then there's a trade paperback of that. There's Batman and Robin, the Gotham Cycle, which is the second volume of Johnson's Batman and Robin run. We have Harley Quinn Volume 2, Friends with Detriments. That's a funny title. I'll give them that. The New Gods Volume 2, Edge of Darkness hardcover, second half of Ram V's New Gods. Obviously, we're getting near the end of that. Trade paperback is also available of that. Mr. Terrific Year 1 trade paperback solicited. We have DC's Finest, The Demon, Birth of the Demon. Some more of those like classic collections getting reprinted in this format. DC's Finest, The Flash, The Fastest Man Dead.
That's a fun title.
Yeah, which is where are we here? Flash 197 to 229. Oh, that's a hefty chunk actually. Yeah, that's 670 pages. Jeez. Yeah, so that's is that the end of like volume 1 of Flash? Like before
it's
Crisis?
Yeah.
It must be, right?
It says that's the 200th issue and beyond in this volume of the Flash adventures from the early to mid 70s. So not quite all the way to the
yeah, but it's
Crisis.
pre-Crisis, yeah.
Yep.
Which I guess I'm not surprised by because I don't really recognize all the writer. I mean, I recognize Dennis O'Neil, but not the other ones.
Yeah.
So we got Flash Rebirth Compact Edition. So, yep, that's that. There's Nightwing Leaping into the Light Compact Edition, so that's obviously part of Taylor's run. The Superman, The Man of Steel by John Byrne Absolute Edition hardcover. So that'll just be the 6-issue miniseries, of course. Kind of wailed if they did the rest of his run in absolute form. But it's got a cool cover on the outer box, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
There's Dark Knights of Steel All Winter trade paperback. Then we have Elseworlds Batman Omnibus Volume 1.
Let's see what these are.
Was this like a all the digital first stuff? No, it's not. It's Gotham by Gaslight, and then it's Holy Terror, and it's just basically just a bunch of different Elseworld Batman stories all put together.
Yeah. It's a lot of them, too.
Oh, it's 1,400 pages. It's a metric shit ton of them. That's a lot. It's a lot of alternative Batman.
And it's only a volume. Yeah, and it's only a volume 1 as well.
Really?
So,
that's funny.
Yeah, that's what it says.
All right. All your weird varieties of Batman that aren't the main Batman. Will the real Batman please stand up? I thought you'd laugh at that. I thought I'll be fine to take a drink. I'll pop Matt. He can laugh and say something, and I'll take a drink. But no, you left me hanging.
I got very excited for the next thing on the list, which I'll probably be picking up myself.
What, a reprint of Supergirl being Super?
Yeah, because I don't have the trade, so I should probably.
Okay, I mean, I'm sure there was probably a nicer like deluxe hardcover at some point you could have got.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Then we got Supergirl, Bizarro Girl, new printing, so that's part of the Sterling Gates run. So it's nice they're keeping that in print. And then for some reason, Catwoman, the New 52 Omnibus, Volume 1. So if you want the Ann Nocenti run, which actually goes into other writers as well, and you want some Gilliam March art, and you want to read some absolute dreck, you can read. I mean, I didn't read. I mean, to be fair, I read like one issue and hated it, so I can't really judge the whole thing. But I wouldn't recommend someone go out and spend $100 on a New 52 Catwoman Omnibus.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I cannot recommend it at all. Batman Golden Age Omnibus Volume 3 new printing, so you know this has been out before, but they're keeping them in print, which is cool. Flinch, the Complete Collection, which is a Vertigo horror anthology series with Bill Willingham, Bob Fingerman, Brian Azzarello, Bruce Jones, and more. So I have to admit, I don't think I've ever heard of Flinch.
Me neither.
Yeah, but this is a 16-issue anthology, so maybe there's some good stuff in there. I suspect there probably is. And we got John Constantine Hellblazer by Paul Jenkins and Sean Phillips. Omnibus. So that's a hefty 1,200 plus pages. So that's cool. There is, I mean, it's mostly all in one chunk. It's mostly 85 to 128, but there's like one issue like from like 51 before then. So I thought, is this going to be one of these annoying ones where it skips a bunch of issues? I think it's actually mostly a contained run. It just has one prelude issue from earlier. So that's fine. So that's cool. And then we got Justice League, the New 52, Book 3. So that's just collecting Johnsy's Justice League run in bigger volumes. So it's about 500 pages, has Forever Evil in it. Then we got Lobo back to back. So, cool. And then finally, New Teen Titans Omnibus Volume 2, new printing. So yeah, these have been out before, but this is just them keeping it in print. So that's cool too. So there you go. That is the solicits for January. A couple of one-shots for event tie-ins and your Valentine's special, but other than that, nothing new or exciting. But we know the Vertigo stuff is all coming. As well as the, what did they call it, Next Level, all that stuff starts rolling out. So Vertigo starts in February, and I think the Next Level stuff starts in March. So that gives you a nice idea of when these things are coming. And I wonder, yeah, March probably makes sense because KO's probably finishing, maybe not in March, but it's, well, no, I won't, because...
Well, no, because if they're at the Elite 8 by January, right, for 2026, there's still 2 more rounds after that. So it's going to be at least 6, right? You would think?
Okay, I wasn't thinking about the tournament brackets. You're jumping to a logic that I don't think it matters. I'm just thinking about it's probably at least 6 issues, I assume. But to be honest, I don't know if they've ever actually said it's 6 issues. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. I don't know. I never remember these things.